Hi everybody, this is Joe Rand from Better Homes and Gardens Rand Realty with our special report on the spring market 2019, 10 years after the 08-09 correction, and we've identified 7 trends of what you need to know about what's going on in our spring market 2019. 7 trends to watch. Trend number 1, sales are up, but they might have topped out. Let's explain why. They have flattened out in the last year or so. Why might that be? One might be a lack of inventory, which is one of our other trends that we'll get to later on in this video series, that there just isn't enough fuel for the fire for all of the demand that's out there. And so particularly in our mid-range, lower end markets, entry-level markets, there just isn't enough inventory out there for all the people that want to buy a home, which is pushing prices up, but is also holding sales down a little bit. The other thing to keep in mind is that we've already reached the seller market highs of the mid-2000s. Sales went up year after year following basically 2012, the bottom of the market. Year after year for 7 years, sales went up. So at some point, we were bound to lose some steam on that. The good news is that we're up, way up from the bottom of the market. Why? Because we have strong buyer demand. It's a good economy, low rates, low inventory, and from a historical perspective, attractive pricing because homes are not even yet, they haven't gotten anywhere near the highs of the last seller's market. So there's still some room for growth. Let's look at where we are from the bottom of the market in the New York counties and the New Jersey counties of northern New Jersey. This is the market that Rand Realty services. As you can see, all these markets are way up in their number of units from the bottom of the market. Westchester up 96%, Orange over doubled, Dutchess, Rockland, Putnam, and then you look Bergen, Passaic, Morris, all of them are way up from the bottom of the market in terms of the number of sales that we're seeing on a yearly basis. But let's look at it from a graphical perspective. Here's the New York region, and you've got each of the counties laid out individually. The most units are in Westchester. That's our biggest market. Orange, Dutchess, Rockland, Putnam, and the Bronx. And you can see that sales right now, if you look at these lines, we go all the way back to 2002. So that's a 17-year trend that we're looking at, and sales went down. You can see where they bottomed out in 2009 after the market correction, and you can see how they came up after that, and that was the homebuyer tax credit of 2009-2010, which really, I think, saved the housing market. And then, since like 2011, 2012, they've been trending upward until like the last year or so when they've started to fade in most of these markets. Orange County might be one exception where sales are still going up. That's an entry-level market or a lower-end market in terms of its price point, and it's still going gangbusters. Everywhere else seems to have topped out. But look where they've topped out. If you look at where those lines are right now, they're pretty close to where they were at the height of the last seller's market in 2004 and 2005. So although the market has kind of topped out, look at where it is. It's not as if there's a lot more housing inventory now than there was 15 years ago. There has not been a lot of building in this market in the last 15 years. So it's around the same amount of homes available, and we're selling about the same number of homes that we were in the very high end of the market. And you see the same thing in Jersey going back to 2002. We only have sales data for Bergen and Passaic. Those are the two blue lines that go all the way back to 2002. In the other markets, we only go back to 2010. So you can see that for all of these markets, sales are up from the 2009-2010 correction level. But you can also see, if you look at Bergen and Passaic, which are pretty representative of their neighboring counties, you can see that sales are pretty much at a level of where they were at the height of the last seller's market, and they've all kind of flattened out in the last year or so. But it's not terrible news. The fact that they flattened out just might be a function of inventory. I don't think it's a reflection of a lack of demand because we're seeing prices go up, which will be one of our other trends that we'll measure in this series. So I think it's generally good news for the market, but we are seeing a situation where we need some more fuel for the fire. We need more inventory, and we probably are not going to see huge sales growth because we're already at really historical highs. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, contact your Rand Realty agent or get in touch with me, Joe Rand. Thank you so much for listening.